saltwater fly fishing, looking for striped bass on a warm winter day. There ain't nobody out today, just a fine day, which means there's been no fish around, for one, or, yeah, but that's all right. It's about that time of year, so anything can happen. Like I said, we got a good tide, so I'm going to be waiting for the water. Hopefully when the water gets moving, we'll get something, maybe something will get active, but, all right, we'll see. I was casting a bit with the sinking line, a sink tip line. This is the fun thing about fly fishing, is when you're waiting on a fish, you don't know what's going on, and you're just out there working through the tide, seeing what's going on, reading the water. Lots going on. You're engaged in casting. You're checking out the wind direction, the water direction, and keeps you busy until those fish show up, if they show up. I don't know if they're showing up or not today. We're just doing some fly fishing, gonna see if any bait rolls in, fish roll in. But yeah, I was using the sinking line. This is just perfect conditions for the floating line. I'm using a 9-weight setup. These are both 9-weight lines. I actually like to line up one because I'm not a distance caster. That heavier line, you'll get a more smoother cast if you're going short. You can use a shorter line. But this is what I got. This is what I'm using. But the fly fishing, definitely, yeah, it's just engaging. So it's just a perfect way to fish when you're checking out water, especially at daylight today. That's what I love about fly fishing, is the gear is just so light. That's like a 24-ounce thermos of coffee, bag, and probably all the weight is in my coffee cup. And I don't even need all this. All I need is a card of flies and some leader. Setting up with the float line now. The water's a little stained. Chartreuses, yellows, the darker purples, the blacks, all good colors to use in this. But I'm just gonna have fun. Floating line is just fun to use, so I'm setting up with the float line now. Got like a million guides on this rod, so let me get this through. I'm gonna start working through with the float line, and I'm just waiting for the water to move. Like I said, we got a great tide, got great weather. Could definitely be some striped bass, some stripers around, and what else is? It's just I wanted to do freshwater fishing today, and actually be a great day for that. Definitely fish around the fresh water. Being active today with this warm weather, but I wanted to do fly fishing too. That's like the big conundrum of fishing, is there's so many things to do, so many ways to do it, and it's not always about catching fish. It's about fishing and about fishing your way, how you do it. Fish your way, not my way. I'll fish my way, you fish your way. And that's why it's fish your way, not fish my way. Who knows? You can see I generally, most of the time, I don't use a basket. Definitely a basket will help you get some extra yardage, for sure. When you're line your cast, you gotta make sure it's in the air. If your line is not in the air, that water is gonna give a drag when you're casting. So, I mean, if you're looking to hit 80, 90, 100 feet consistent, you know, go use a basket. Back in here, I always like to work through with a deceiver fly first, and then work through with a deceiver fly. I just kind of take it easy on the cast. Ooh. Get that line out, get it straight. When the fish show up, you get yourself calibrated with your gear. And it is slow, and when it gets slow, even in this cold water, skinny water, I'm going to work through with a popping fly. I just kind of like working these when the fish are on the off. They're just fun. You keep your eye on the fly and just work them. It's just, like I said, the fly fishing, it's keeps you busy while you're waiting on the fish. I'm waiting for the tide to move. We'll know once that tide starts moving. Working through with the popping fly now. And the one question I get asked a few times is, Jerry, how come you don't have any sponsors? And well, there's a few reasons. Probably the main reason is, number one, I'm not a professional. I just go fishing. That's what, you know. And number two, I don't like to get tied down to gear. This is, you know, I don't want to use something I'm not into using. It's as simple as that. And another reason, number three, is you get bound to throwing something out there every video, you know. So as I say, you make 2 videos a week or 1 video a week, and suppose you want to take a break, or suppose you change your mind, and you know you're bound to something that you know. And yeah, I have staple gears, but I'm not using that gear year round, or I don't want to be using that gear year round if I don't want to. Maybe I want to use some other gear. And the tide's gonna get moving soon, and it's gonna have some lunch over here. That's what I was gonna say. You're hiring sponsoring. Kind of like these here candy bars. As soon as I get tired of the candy bar, I want a new one. I'm stuck eating these. Anyway, these are good for now. We're just fly fishing a sunny winter afternoon. Actually, it's not winter yet, but that's what we're doing. It was feeling like winter till today. Now it feels like early spring. It's a warm winter day. Another fly I like to work through with, that's a half and half. It's got dumbbell eyes. The clouds would just be the same. This is kind of like just a weighted deceiver. A little different action to it. But yeah, just working through the flies. This is what saltwater fly fishing, and hoping on a bite, who knows. The nice thing with the stripers, the striped bass, is if you get that one hit, there's going to be more around them this time of year. You're just looking for that one hit. And a little, I guess, word on that is if you're out on a session, you're doing an evening session, you always try the morning, because the tides are cyclic. They could be caught up on one end of the tide or another, and once you get into them, you got them. So yeah, we're just a beautiful day, so we're just kind of hoping on them casting through. But this is a good time. So we got the setting sun, you got a good tide, we got some good method, and we're just fishing your way. Fishing your way. All right, I did a video with Peter the other day, and he posed a thought experiment. I'm going to pose one that it just came through. I just thought of now, and that question is, how do you share happiness, or how would you share happiness? It's the answer as simple as you think. How would you share happiness? It's an interesting question. Just spending the day, winter day, saltwater fly fishing for striped bass. Whether they show up or not, who knows? The sun is setting, it's going down now. The tide is moving somewhat. I'm waiting for it to move a little more. I'm going to fish until dark, see if something shows up. But it's just striper fishing. This is just going to be, you know, how it be in the winter. It's just fishing is. Some days going to be on, other days fishing going to be off. I think the winter time you're looking at, I would say, you know, if you're just going out fishing like this, just going out, your buddy's not calling you up and say, hey, there's a crazy bite, but you're going out fishing, I would say probably, well, this time of year you might hit it 3 out of 10 times out. But what I would certainly do if my heart was content on only striper fishing is, but I do other fishing. If I was, I would try the next tidal cycle. I would try the other end of the cycle, or I would try low water. That's the whole ticket with these here striper. But I know that they're there. It's just a matter of being in there when the striper there. But anyway, enough talking. But I'm going to fish more. I'm going to definitely fish until dark. If I get that dark, if they start biting at dusk into the dark, I'm going to fish into the dark. If it ain't biting, they ain't biting. Anyway, let me get my fishing in, and thanks for watching. Good afternoon, night, day, evening, wherever you are.